How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. So tonight I wanted to talk about a little bit of synchronistic moments of life, kind of like what I sometimes do. I think I'm going to just chalk this up to the Cosmic Ray experience, type of playlist. So let's kind of get with it. So this morning when I was getting ready to go to work, I was like a little earlier today. I was debating whether or not to put on like a certain bracelet, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about? Why do I care?" There's a bracelet I may have mentioned before. It's the one that kind of looks like this. It has like a little crown on it as well, and it's like black and gold. There's something that I guess a customer or whatever, someone that was able to kind of share like a oneness, if you will, and this individual, it was not odd. I say odd because like to a lot of people it's like, huh, that's weird. But for me, it's more like this. I saw this person again at a random moment when I wasn't sure whether or not to put on this bracelet from the first time he gave it to me, and it was odd because I saw him, again, and we did like a recording together, and it was like and I was at my job. It was like a random moment. But anyways, I'm just gonna digress from that. So I was in the morning. I was like, okay, should I put this on or not? Because I really love this thing. It's just I don't want nothing to happen to it. And the type of job I do, anything could happen to a point where like I have to act all business professional and handle like certain irate people at times, or just being professional in general. And there's times where I have to actually get dirty, do certain things, move stuff around, pick up stuff, sweat and whatnot. And I don't want anything to damage this because I've had something happen to a necklace back in the day. Um, at this job, but that it kind of ruined it. So I didn't want to mess up anything else. So with this thing being nice, it's like the fact that someone gave this to me. It's like one of these first moments of life where I didn't know anyone at this specific person or moment or anything like that, and all of a sudden they did something nice for me by giving something that they owned right from their like back or right from the wrist, if you will. And so it was one of those things I wanted to kind of cherish it, and also to be able to treat it with respect, and to know that someone gave this to me, whatnot. Anyways, so sitting here like whether or not to put this thing on, and for a moment I was like, well, what if I see him? Should I not have it on? And what if it looks disrespectful? What if I didn't have this on and this guy was, he's there and he's like, well, no, he doesn't have it on, or whatever the case, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. But at that moment, I'm like thinking all these like random thoughts. Like I don't even know why. I was like, I'm just trying to get to work. But for something was telling me like whether or not I should. It was like those battles. It was like, should I take it? Should I not? Should I take it? Should I not? Should I take it? Should I not? And it was one of those things where I was feeling like, Ray, like, what are you doing? Like, you really think you're gonna see this person? Like, why are you trying to like worry about this? Like, this is kind of dumb. Like, just don't worry. And I don't know. Somebody told me, just bring it, like, just to wear it. If maybe if I was gonna do something that was, you know, that I felt was gonna mess it up, maybe to consciously be aware to take it off beforehand. Now, normally I don't, because it's like I'm usually when I'm at work, I'm like bam, 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 bam. I got to do things like now kind of thing. So I don't have like time to like prep myself. And plus, too, yeah, I don't want to like be around other like guys like, hold on, let me take off my bracelet, everyone. You put it in my pocket. So it was just one of those things. So but the thing is, I was like, no, I'm gonna bring it. Brought it, right? And going to work, kind of just forgot about the situation. And things were kind of happening at work where it was, you always try to make the best of days. You always try to make everything great, positive experience, in life, especially if you're trying to channel like the positive energy, from above, the prana energy, or if like I always say this white light aura. It could be any type of light, for you for like protection. It was just one of those things like in my mind at that time. I was using kind of like a white light aura, if you will, for protection from negative energy, from like vocal energy, or just negative, just attitudes or things. Anyways, so while I was doing that, I still had some, kind of issues with a coworker, or someone that's like above management kind of thing, but like not from my department. Just observing something that was dumb. Anyways, I, like 10, 15 minutes later, kind of like feeling, slump. I'm like, man, I need just some more positivity in my life at this moment. I felt like a little low. I felt just a little drained, like almost like on like empty. And it was kind of nice because lo and behold, guess who showed up? Yes, it was that same gentleman who I spoke about in previous videos, and it was him. And he has one of his friends, or someone, or maybe a coworker. I'm not exactly sure, but someone else I haven't seen before. And This would be, I think, the maybe the fourth time now. I think, yeah, the fourth time that I've seen him. And it was random because, I mean, this guy could have came at my job any other time, but happened to be the days that I was actually working. And it's not like he knows my shift or anything like that. And so it's kind of nice. And so happened to be wearing it. So the cool thing is that when he came up, I felt his energy again. Same thing as before, and it wasn't something subconscious. It was like an automatic. Everything just changed. Like everything went from like to above, right? And my energies, everything inside was totally. It was just new. Like I just felt like just like the white light from above, just the screw it. I just felt like the energy of the universe just came in. The energy just filled in all inside me. Got like excited again. Felt like great, rejuvenated life. Just like everything just. So what I asked for came true. In a sense. Also, another thing was that he had a lot of positive things to say. I was helping him out doing something, and I was talking to his friend too, and his friend was kind of like, "Oh, usually when I guess I don't know, maybe it doesn't have to be that way, but I introduced myself and to this other person, and it was cool. I got to meet him too, and it was a positive experience, nonetheless. And but with the gentleman that I know, we started talking, and just about life, and he looked at his friend and goes, "Hey, did you see that thing that I was posting, that earlier?" He's all, that's him. That's the guy in the flesh. And he's like, "Oh, wow, like that's him." And then me, I was like, whatever. I didn't see it. I was there, doing it, but I didn't see like, But he goes, I had a lot of positive feedback. He's on plus two. Some people notice, our oneness together and how we're sharing, and they had a lot of positive things to say about what you were saying. I'm like, oh, damn, like I kind of want to follow or figure out what's going on, in a sense. And like I said before, I'm not really a fan like other media streams and social media stuff, but obviously doing YouTube. But for right now, I feel just guided just to kind of do that. And yes, I could reach out to other things, but I just feel for me, and right now, I just this is kind of just all I want to do. But it was kind of cool. It's like maybe I'll take a look at that because just to kind of see what it is and what it's about. And I was just talking to this gentleman talking about it was weird. Something just inspired me right at that moment just to talk about something, like a little bit about what we talked about in the video that he did, but something completely different in it as well. We ended up talking about how, or I ended up talking to him, this other guy, about how it's we're obviously all here for a reason, either for their own reason, collective reasons. Like I feel like I already know why I'm here, and I know why most of the people are here. A lot of people have felt and heard the call from Gaia, and they heard we're all trying to expand our consciousness and come to raise our vibrations to help uplift this planet, above to something else, which I don't want to talk about. But I'm sure you could find out, online. A lot of people are, talking about it, like an ascension kind of thing. Um, anyways, just for me though, there's many reasons why I'm here, but one one in which I was trying to explain to him that we're all here from different walks of life physically, from different pasts, physically, but spiritually we're also here from different walks of life, even though our main source comes from the one. And it's one of those moments of life where I was trying to say, for now we're all trying to find each other in a sense. We're all trying to have that positive vibes, not just saying just to say, but actually know what that means, and to be able to uplift each other's life conditions, understand the oneness from each other, that if we're all from different walks of life. And we had explained to this gentleman, I was like, it's weird. And I even explained this to in another video that you may have seen, but just in case, I was explaining to this gentleman, I was like, like look it up, this guy was tall. So like, so I was telling him, hey, the way that it seems like for me is that we all share this oneness. Now, not all of us are like awoken or awakened, if you will, into this or had that, experience. Maybe some people call it spiritual awakening or maybe whatever it is. But whatever I had, something happened. Not necessarily has to be the same thing, but something happened to this other gentleman that I originally met because this person, like, we just feel this connection. And it's like usually when you start talking to someone and you know them for like a day, or maybe it's like a coworker you just met, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get to know them. And then maybe another day, oh, I'll get to know them better. Oh, I get to know them better. And then like, a month later, like, oh, this guy's cool. We were pretty cool and we're friends. But this is like the first day, like I met this guy, I knew like this guy was good. Not just, as an empath, you can tell when someone's nice, but just more like something's different. Something's different in here. Something's going on differently, and it's like, and it's like-minded to you in a sense. And you're like, you're not related, but maybe you are, in a sense, um, ethically. And I was telling this guy, looking up, telling this guy, hey, we're all here, sharing this, collective like consciousness, source energy, God, whatever you want to call it. I'm not here to tell you exactly what it is. That's for you to figure that out. Even though I may have my own, knowings of this. It's more of a, we're all different parts of walk of life, right? And we're all trying to come collectively to kind of share this oneness together, to be able to understand that we have this connection. We don't necessarily have to have other things like we immediately know. So let's just find out what it is. Let's just kind of push past whatever the physical characteristics or whatever people have as like the initial program of like, oh, I see someone, let me judge them, let me see this, let me see that. Oh, what shoes are they wearing, what kind of clothes, or this or that, are they kempt, unkempt, blah blah blah. Like, you kind of go through like this little Rolodex of hopefully you guys know what a Rolodex is. I might kind of tell you my age. I was like a Rolodex of things. And it's just one of those moments where you just kind of just let all that go. Like, it's all not defending, but it's all bullshit. Everything like this physical, I love this. Don't get me wrong. Love my spiritual body. I love all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm talking about. But I meant regarding this oneness that we share. Everything else is bullshit besides this oneness. And to kind of like understand this, from each other. To kind of just figure this out, together, right? So I'll explain that to this person. I mean, I did obviously way shorter than I just did to you guys, but I was telling him, and that it's odd because when you see someone, and I may have shared this before, but when you see someone and say if you're looking like away, looking away and someone else looking away, and all of a sudden just something just tells you just to look this direction, and then you look and they're looking at you, and then you just look away, and then sometimes you get the automatic judging thing of like, oh, what are they looking at? Like, this was right back in the day, like, what are you looking at? Like, what? Like, what but that's not what it's about. So when you first look at someone and you just automatically both look, it's not like you're staring at them on purpose or they're staring at you. You notice them staring. You kind of feel like that evil eye. Look, and you're like, what the fuck are you looking at? Nothing like that. It's just one of those like just moment of like just really quick. It's like something just draws you guys into it just for that like a half a second. You won't probably even notice it, but you do it so many times in a day, and you just barely notice, and you're like, look, and you just look away really quick, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever, like, whatever that was. You're like, oh, it just happens so often. And it's just people looking at each other, right? That's all you can chalk it up to, right? And you don't really think of anything else. You're like, oh, it's just no big deal. And that happens so many often. You're like, okay, no big deal. And then at the end of the day, you just chalk it up to like, either you pay attention. You're like, oh, people were looking. I was looking at the same time. No big deal. Because don't get me wrong, there's maybe someone's checking you out because they think you're sexy. There could be that too, right? Or someone maybe generally have a problem and they're just staring at you for whatever reason. But it's not like that. It's not like they're staring and like this, and all of a sudden you're looking and you're like, oh, they're staring. Oh, it must be a connection. Nothing like that. It's not what I'm talking about. It's just those random moments where you're not even looking, and all of a sudden just I've done that for so many people that are we call guests or customers from like far away, and they're in a check lane or something, and I'll just randomly look at me and like, huh, and I just look away, and then and maybe like, I don't know, a minute later or so, like I'll look at, and they're looking right at the same time. I'm like, look it away. I'm like, okay, no big deal, whatever, right? No big deal. But that happens way too often, right? So I explained that to this person at the same time. The first person that I met, this person, he goes, Ray, that's what I've been talking about a lot. He goes, sometimes you may not even notice. And I'm like, nope, not at all. Like, you wouldn't even think it's a big deal. Like, you think that whatever that we, judge on the first, like, whatever it is that we automatically do, it's like, oh, or do they look hot? Do they not? Or like, or whatever it is, right? Whatever you're going through this, like, crazy, like, Rolodex of things, so that you just put up, like, not a wall, but just whatever you're people have like these judgments of things, like I'm guilty at times, but like most of the time I try not to. So ever since I've been a little bit more spiritual, I don't think of that, unless someone's sitting there like crazy, looking at me or something. But other than that, like I don't do that anymore. And it was just one of those things I was just explaining to him, and he's like, yeah. And then this other guy, this guy Jason, the main guy who I was talking about, he, he's like, yes, that's it. And he smiled like a huge grin. Like I never talked to him about this. He never talked to me about this. It wasn't like we shared this thing. Like it was just we just immediately just knew. Like we just automatically knew from oh, if I had my candles lit right now, it'd be popping off. But yeah, I was guided not to put that on for right now. At least for another video. I feel like there's something else you guys are supposed to like witness or kind of understand for whoever's watching this video is like, well, maybe certain flashes and things happen because you got lights on or not lights on, and yeah. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of reach that out to you. And of course, most of my videos are, you just have the lights off because, like I always say, it doesn't matter what I look like. You guys, can look at other videos if you need to, for whatever reason, you see what I look like. But that's not important. Important is the message. I show the videos and stuff like that as like myself, even with the lights off. Obviously, for certain things like candle divinations, my kind of love magic stuff. And also you see my golden aura, like the gold aura energy, the amber energy, that comes out. You can see the lights differently, and I try to show you in the darkness, but a physical person, so like I'm not a robot. I'm not like someone just putting something together. This is just me trying to be like natural, organic. But I always feel like there's times I'm gonna have the lights on for certain purposes, just for you to kind of see natural energy that comes out. I always say believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. And I used to be a strong proponent in the whole seeing is believing kind of thing, like, oh, you prove to me that this works. But then I had all my stuff that happened to me and started to realize, okay, this one thing is somewhat real, just maybe other things can be. And slowly things start kind of like coming into my visions, and it start coming to my life, and my perimeter of the scope of life. My prism opened up more, and other things start happening. So I wanted to kind of I do this just for other things to happen. So whatever happens, I mean, I don't know what this video is gonna look like, but when I rewatch this, if you guys see flashes or other things happen, you'd be able to have that moment. And I try to have that for others that just maybe they need that whole seeing is believing just a little bit, just to kind of help expand a little bit of their consciousness, just a little to enough, that there's something up. Like I don't know what happens or how he does it, and trust me, if you haven't seen it in my videos before, um, I know about computers. I've done coding. I was an analyst for a while, and it was so I understand certain things, and being youthful. I know people say, "Oh, we're always good with technology," but just being honest, for me to you, I don't know how to do crazy edits or anything like that. You guys know when I do my edits, if there's an edit, there's a purpose like edit, and I always notate that. So for the most part, everything's organic, even when I mess up on something. So just let you know. So I don't know how to alter anything. Just telling you that. So if you see something, you're like, well, I don't know what that is, but I see this thing happen with this guy, and for whatever reason, like I don't know why these flashes come, or certain things I'm starting to see, like there's something that just like come radiating, or something around over here, or just something else, maybe some flashes of light, or I notice these colors change in the camera perspective. And it's not like I'm purposely doing anything to the camera. It's just normal light, I just they have those long lamps, that's it. There's nothing different, that I'm doing. So the certain energies change, with my energy, certain things happen with like what we call spirit guides, or other type of guides, if you will. Sometimes things happen when you're channeling. All this stuff like just happens. Just things just start changing. Sometimes people like us have this thing where we're not quote unquote supposed to be around electronics because we alter electronics somehow by accident. For whatever that's supposed to mean. So that could be it, but something is different. Something is happening. So. Um, so well, I ended up that conversation with these two gentlemen, and just saying, you know, thank you, in a sense, thank you for being you, thank you for everything, and and he was just, it was cool because the way he like said goodbye was like, goodbye, goodbye, young king, and it was kind of one of those things where I knew like what he meant, maybe biblically, for him, and that's happened, and before when I heard someone else talk to me before, and I didn't really, I'm starting to understand a little bit more, and maybe what they meant by that. And say, hey, hope you guys have a blessed day, enjoy this day. And when he was talking to me before, he was saying certain things like, hey, are you enjoying this beautiful day? Like he was saying positive things. He's not felt moment to kind of say something negative. But I realized, what, that's not what it's about. I was telling him, I'm trying to find this way to connect more with people, just live in more of a higher vibrational lifestyle, understanding that taking life moment by moment by moment, and not trying to be dwell on certain negative things that happen. And he's like, yeah, that's what it's about, man. This is what it's about. And then he was telling his friend about me, and how like we vibed that day, and like just totally just clicked, just like just, for the moment, we clicked. And that hasn't stopped. So it was kind of cool that I feel like I wore this for a reason. And not to get like paranoid every single day, oh, should I wear it, kind of thing. But it was just one of those moments where just letting whatever this is supposed to mean to you, that there's going to be times in your life where like, should I not trust your instincts? Synchronicity may happen. So if you feel trust with that gut instinct, maybe the first instinct, which was for me to wear this, and whether or not to me to not have my candles or not have them on or anything, I just felt right to kind of share this with you guys. This cosmic ray experience. Um, you know, I, there's another story, or another experience I wanted to explain to this about this other gentleman. But I feel like I'm just gonna leave it here. So I know my videos are usually long, so let's just try to keep it short. Cosmic surfers, and love and light, and beyond, for anything, from everything to everything that's cosmic, and for your beautiful hearts out there. Thank you for being you, and I truly mean that. From the bottom of my heart. Now, I greatly appreciate you in this collective reality, in this moment of life, for you just even tuning in for however long, and even for that one person that hates on me, that's okay too. Um, you know, just thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I kind of actually know this. We're all going to be, awakened eventually, if not you have already. And if you're just watching this right now, more likely you probably already have been. You may not know, or going through your own transition of this spiritual awakening, or this enlightenment, or however it is for you to find this oneness that we all share, collectively. Doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to, or you could believe in God, or believe in just the universe, or believe in spirituality, or just have like maybe just thoughts on it. But then you're realizing something is happening, something is changing inside you, not just your mind, but the way you're thinking about other things, where you're feeling, where your actions are speaking for you, the way you're starting to trust other aspects, of your life that you may not know what it is. And maybe you start wondering, maybe I might be spiritual, or maybe there's something else going on, or maybe just tiny smidgen, just a little, just got to be something else in this universe, something else. And just letting you know, I mean, if you do or don't believe in God, or let's just say you do, or you're like, oh, God's the only creator, but like, you have to realize, if we were created by, let's just hypothetical, if we were created by aliens, God, whatever it is, still created the aliens, like whatever, whatever it is, that's being created, us, if it is God, whatever it is, like the physical aspect, like the whole chicken or the egg kind of thing happened, that in itself, could have been created by anything, but that anything could have been created by our source. There could be other deities and gods here, many different gods. Those gods also came in from a source type of energy, whatever it is, universe. Like I said, everything that we're physically made of is all cosmic, all space dust and particles and atoms and electrons, neutrons, all the protons, all that stuff, together, down to the microcosm, to the very, molecule, molecular level, if you will. Anyways, so cosmic surfers, much love to you guys out there. You guys are amazing. Sorry, I'm horrible at this, because every time I do it to my kids, it's always easier just doing it with one hand. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful evening, hopefully a blessed weekend, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much, cosmic surfers. Thank you for staying cosmic. Thank you for keeping your head above the cosmic waves, if you will. Good night, my friends.